Hello, let's continue our Sudoku adventure with MinX by Chili. So this is a leftover puzzle from our Fortress theme week, but it didn't quite make it into that week because we had too many puzzles, so I'm doing it now. So let's go over the rules. There are normal 6x6 Sudoku rules, which means in every row, every column, and every 2x3 box, we are placing the digits 1 to 6 exactly once each. This is also a Sudoku X, so that's why we have these main diagonals marked with a line. What that means is that these diagonals, which have 6 cells in them, are treated just like a row, column, or box. We need to place the digits 1 to 6 exactly once each in the diagonals as well. You also have minimum and maximum cells. So minimum cells are smaller than all the digits around them. You can see the less than signs pointing in. And maximum cells are bigger than all of the cells around them. So you can see the greater than sign is pointing in. So this is bigger than all 4 of these, and this is smaller than all 4 of these. And that's it. Those are the rules. There's a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself. And I'm going to get started right now. Okay, so let's think about these minimum cells first. And I'm noticing like this minimum cell here, if you think about it, can't exceed 3. And the reason for that is these 3 cells are in the same box. If we try to make them as big as we possibly can, they still end up 4, 5, 6. Which meaning one of these will be a 4, meaning this one has to be less than the 4 that will inevitably be around it. So 1, 2, 3. Well, there doesn't have to be a 4, but if there isn't, there's something smaller, right? So this can't exceed 3. Same exact thing for these two. These can't exceed 3. And this is just the opposite. It can't be smaller than 4 because again, 1, 2, 3 would be our minimum here. Now these are interesting. I think at first glance, it seems like we could do a 1, 2s around it. But actually, if you think about it, yeah, that's not going to work because we need repeats. Let's call this one blue, not blue. Let's call this one purple. This 1, 2 shares a row with the purple, right? So it would have to be green, right? Whatever this ends up being, this is the other. But also these two share a diagonal. Right? And so they have to be different. That would make this green. Now we'd have 2 greens in the box. So basically we need 3 different values for these. If you think about it, they're basically like a triple, right? These 3 act like a triple because you can't repeat a digit in any of them. Whatever ends up here can't go in these 2. Whatever ends up here can't go in these 2. And whatever ends up here can't go in these 2. So they're like a triple. So their minimum is going to be 1, 2, 3, which makes this 4, 5, 6. Same exact deal here. This is 4, 5, 6. Okay, now that doesn't seem like enough to help me immediately. Okay, let's look at this column and this row next. Because I'm noticing, and we don't have quite something similar happening with greater thans, but these line up. And think about the coverage of our signage here. So this is smaller than these 2, and this is smaller than these 2, right? So none of these can be a 1. So we try to put a 1 in any of these, and we need a digit smaller than 1 to put in one of these. So none of these are 1, putting a 1 in one of these 2 cells. Now, just like these 3 were a triple, these 3 are actually a triple. If you think about it, because I don't think I actually need to use this, but anyway, we're going to use it anyway. I might as well finish explaining it. Every single one of these sees the other 2, right? Whatever this one is can't go in these 2. Whatever this one is can't go in these 2, and whatever this one is can't go in these 2. Whenever you have that property, it means you can't repeat among them. So then we'd have to make a triple out of them. And since they're only from 1, 2, 3, they are a triple. So one of them will be 1, one of them will be 2, one of them will be 3. Now we already know one of these 2 is a 1, meaning this one can't be a 1 because it's part of our triple. But also for this row, we can do the same thing. None of these are 1s. So, and now this one isn't a 1. So now in this row, we can place the 1. It has to go here. All right, a 1 and a minimum isn't great. But this is 2 or 3 now. Let's actually look at what these can be from now. So they just have to be bigger than 2. So they're from 3, 4, 5, 6. But these 2 are smaller than this one. So they can't be 6. They're from 3, 4, 5. We can do the exact same thing here. These are from 3, 4, 5, 6. And these can't be these can't be the 6 because they have to be smaller than this one. Now, is there an asymmetry here I can exploit? Because I feel like we can do like the same thing on both sides. It might be this one. This feels like the asymmetry to me. Because if you think, well, are we Or is it just the fact that this is a min and this is a max is an asymmetry? I'm trying to see like what symmetry I'd be using here. I think we'd be, if we think about the reflective symmetry across this diagonal, right? If these clues weren't here, then we could go either way. But because these clues are here, this one's a min, this one's a max, that actually prevents the reflective logic. Like otherwise, whatever we did down here, we could also do up here. Exactly. So I'm thinking about that. Sometimes that's a good strategy to figure out what to do next. So none of these can be a 6. Okay, so I'm noticing in this column, 6 is in one of these two. Always thinking about 1s and 6s in these kinds of puzzles is a good idea, by the way. I don't know how helpful that is, but they do both see this cell over here. If the 6 is in one of these two over here, this cannot be a 6 because it takes 6 out of both of them. So this is from 2, 3, 4, 5, for what it's worth. These can't be 6 either, because they have to be smaller than these two. In fact, they can't be 5, because if I try to put a 5 in either of these, then these both end up 4, and that clashes against that other diagonal. So these are from only 2, 3, 4. They can't be 5 or 6. So the 6 ends up here on this diagonal, for what it's worth. Is there more I can do with 1s? I know 1 is in one of these two cells. And in fact, 1's in one of these two cells in this diagonal, which means 1 can't go here. But I guess these pointing ones do the same thing. 1 ends up in one of these two. 1 ends up over here. There we go. So in this box, 1 ends up here. So this can't be a 1. That places this one. 1's in one of these two. 1 can be anywhere in here. How about down here? 1's in one of these two. So now we can ask where 1 goes in this column. Right, because we got this 1. 1 can't go here. It certainly isn't going here or actually can it? Sorry, that's where it goes. And it can't go in any of these 3. Right, so 1 in this column goes here. And that places this 1. Okay. Are any of these 1s I placed like it's particularly helpful? I need a 2 in this box. It goes in one of these two. That's nice. Right, this box needs a 2, and it's in one of these two. That's on this diagonal, meaning this can't be a 2, or there'd be nowhere to put 2 in this box. So this has to be a 3. Notice that does remove 3 from all the ones around it. I don't think this has to be a 4 or 5 pair, though. I think these can be the same digit as each other. At least as far as I can tell at the moment. This is a 4, 5, 6 triple, though. So this is a 1, 2. Oh, and that makes this a 2, of course. Goes back around, makes it a 2. 2 is the lower digit, so it doesn't affect the ones around it. It does make this a 1, though. That a 2. Makes that a 1. That's not a 2. Okay, that's not a 2. That's not a 1. Huh. I need a 2 in this box. It goes in one of these two. So 2 in this box goes over here. 2 in this box is placed. It's right there. Or for the column, if you prefer. We do have this 4, 5, 6 triple. Making progress here, definitely. What's kind of our next step, though? I remember these are a triple. I don't think these are a triple, though, because these don't see each other. Yeah, these can both be the same digit. These were a triple, and these were a triple. But there's 4 possible digits. Okay, we're gonna end up with a 4 or a 5 here, because we can't put the 1 anywhere. So like if you think about it, the minimum is 2, 3, 4 now across this triple, and the minimum across this triple is 2, 3, 4. Doesn't matter how we're laying it out. That's kind of the minimum. So these can never be 4 anymore. Now this diagonal needs a 4, so it ends up here. This is an intricate puzzle. A lot of things to spot. That's not a 4. This is from, yeah, we need a 2 in this diagonal, so that goes there. That places this 2. This is from 3, 4, 5, 6. I do think about, this is a 5, 6 pair. I do think about that. So what that means is with this cannot be a 5 or a 6, right? Because it's going to see this 5, 6 pair. And so this is not 1, 2. It could be 3, 4. It's not 5, 6. I'm not sure if that helps immediately. 2 in this box is placed. Let's get that placed. This is from 4, 5, 6. This is not 1 or 2. Or do we have all our 2? We have all our 1s and 2s. So everything's from 3, 4, 5, 6 now. So, okay, so let's think about this box. Can I jam the 3 here? You know what? That's interesting. I don't know if this is even needed, but it's interesting and I'll mention it. I was thinking about whether this could be a 4. Actually, am I thinking about this right? No, I wasn't thinking about this right. But if this was a 4, that forces this to be a 3. But I'm not. No, I wasn't thinking about that right. Sorry about that. Nothing really to mention. These are from 3, 5, 6, though. 4 is in one of these 2. Maybe there's something with rows that I didn't notice. I feel like I'm this close to finishing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not seeing any restriction on that. The only way this is not 6 is if these are both 4. Maybe there's an issue with that. It does a lot. It makes these both 3. If these are both 4, then 4 also goes here. I don't see like an immediate problem with that. And that's the only way this ends up a 5. So 5, double 4, 6. I don't see it. 6 isn't one of these 2 in this box. Don't know what that does. 6 is one of these 2. What's this cell? This cell's 3, 4, 5, 6. Not 4, 3, 5, 6. Does it have to do with if this was a 5, then this would be a 3. We'd have a 3, 4 pair. 6 would go here. Doesn't seem bad to me. I'm really focused on this 5, 6 pair because I feel like that's gonna do it. What about this cell? Is this any of 3, 4, 5, 6? It can't be 5. Oh no, sorry, it's these that can't be 5, 6. It could be a 5, 6. Darn, I feel like I was flowing really well, and then now I don't know what to do. Okay, this can't be a 6. This is from 3, 4, 5. 6 is in one of these 2. 3, 4, 5, 6 here. 4 is in one of these 2 for the diagonal. Oh, okay, there we go. That's something, at least. On this diagonal, I need a 4, and it's in one of these 2. Wherever it ends up, it sees this cell here. If this was a 4, we wouldn't be able to put a 4 on the diagonal. So that ends up a 5, making that a 6. There we go, that's a 5. We get our 3s here. Okay, let's clean up what we can here. This is 3 or 4. Not a 5, not a 5. These aren't 5, not a 3 or a 3. That's not a 6, that's not a 5, that's not a 3. Okay. This is 4 or 5, and it has to be smaller than this one, so this can't be the 4. This has to be 6. Okay. That's a 4, that's a 5, that's a 6. That's a 4. We get our 5 here, 6, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 3, 4, 6, 3. Down here we need 5 and 6. We have a doot there, 5, 6. All right. Took me a while. There are definitely a lot of intricate deductions to make in this one. I think this is a little bit harder than what we normally want for adventure. I don't think any of the individual deductions were significantly difficult. Like none of them were like chains or global or uses of like intricate of complex logic or inside info about constraints, things like that. but it was just one after another of just hard to spot deduction after hard to spot deduction after hard to spot deduction. So, yeah, definitely this was one of the harder adventure puzzles out there. I'd encourage the adventure setters, if you notice that there's a lot of intricate deductions in a row, try to smooth that out a bit for adventure. Add some extra clues, whatever it takes, or scrap the puzzle, make a new one. Anyway, I'd say this is borderline. Let me know in the comments how you felt. Was this too difficult for adventure, or was this a good difficulty for you? And of course, if you enjoyed this, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.